So for audio video content, which is rich media contents in Flash, we generally import them as a separate object, just like we import images to your Flash documents. Now Flash supports various audio formats. It supports MP3, it supports MP4s, it supports the WAV format, which is also quite popular for web design point of view. So any file you may have WAV, MP3 or MP4 formats, Flash will automatically take that in timeline to play. So if you have any animation, let me just take any file, existing document we have. Happy Christmas note banner or something. And for this file, we have 3 layers in the timeline, as you can see. Layer 3 is actually the text layer. Then we have a snow movie clip and the snow mountain. So these are the 3 layers we have in this particular file. At the top of the text, I will insert another layer called audio. When you add videos, also make sure you have a separate layers so they don't interfere with your files. Now we go to the file and we go to import. There's no separate menu for importing audios. We use same menu we use for importing images in Flash. So we either use import to stage or import to library to bring the MP3 files which we have. I'll go to library just for the demonstration. And it will ask you, where is your document, where is your MP3 file you have. Now I've got some file for you in the Flash documents. There's a soundtrack MP3 file, and it will ask us to browse the document. There you go. It jumps to your folder. That's my soundtrack.mp3. Open the file. Problems reading them. Playing. File imports to library. There were problems reading them. Let me get any of the MP3 file. Does anyone of you have any MP3 file in your folders? Or any WAV file in your folder? Do you have WAV files, anyone? Okay. Let me just get a free WAV loop online. The free loops is quite interesting site. I think I've shown you this day before. You can go to the freeloops.com, and from the free loops you can just find any sound particularly which we like. Okay, it's a strange trance. Good file, like piano music. So let's pick the sound video. Now that's the music piece we want. There's an icon for download this file. There you go, Explorer, download files. Save your file, yeah, in the same folder I'm saving. Audio loop. It's a WAV file. Now once the download is finished, let me go back to my Flash file. Go to File, Import to Library. That's the audio loop. Open the file. So there you go. It's accepted the WAV file. Now through the library, you can see your audio loop.wav file will be displayed into your list. Now in the list, you can also click on play icon and play on my headphone. It's good to test what particular audio you are using for your documents, right? Once you like it, that's the layer of audio which you're going to use. We simply pick the object from the stage of your library and drag and drop it anywhere into your Flash document. It's not a visible content. It's going to be invisible. It's an audio file. So it doesn't matter wherever you drop within your stage workspace. Now it actually appears in your timeline. As you can see, because there's not multiple frames for this particular project, you don't see the entire wave. But just for demonstration, let me just add some frames to this file. And now you can see it actually shows the wave file extending all over your documents. Now once it's there, the moment you test your movie, that first keeps continuing its audio in the loop. And because the playhead jumps back to number 1, it starts the same audio file again. Do you know what I mean? So it's like a continuation. When the playhead goes back, it goes back to number 1, and again it starts playing. So if you keep a small loop playing for a long time, you will see the same clip goes on and on and on, and it creates confusions for you. Because every time playhead goes to 1, the timeline thinks it's just another instance of the audio, and it plays the same audio file again. Okay, if you have the longer projects with lots of frames and multiple scenes, then this will rarely happen, because then your timeline will keep going till the end. Okay, so it's quite important to work with audio if you know the whole project which you're going to design is lasting for right from the beginning till the end. It finishes in, let's say, 1 minute, means 60 seconds. Okay, then you should create an audio for 60 seconds duration using the audio softwares and then import it. So then it won't cause you any confusion. Or the next thing you should do is you simply click anywhere into the waveform of that particular timeline layer. And if you go to the properties panel will show you some of the properties of sound. Do you see that? There are not many options available, but you can play around some of the basic tweaking of the way the timeline should play the audio files. Okay. Now, as long as your cursor has clicked anywhere between the audio layer in your Flash document, we can go to the properties panel, and it shows you the name of your sound is currently audio. If you have multiple files in your library, it will show you the list of all audios, and you can keep changing your files whenever you want. Okay. The second thing it shows you is the effect. So you can actually see if you want to play your audio when the movie starts playing, only in the left channel of your speakers or the right channels of your speakers. So this, based on what effect you want to give to your audio files when Flash will play the movie, we can pick. We can have a fade in. Fade in means when we test movie, it will start slowly and the audio volume will start increasing slower pace, which is quite good. Fade out means when your project is about to finish, the volume will decrease slowly and it will end when it reaches to the last frame of your project. Okay, so you can do some of the inbuilt effects which Flash gives you, or there's an edit icon next to effect. When you click on that, it actually shows you the waveform for the left and the right channel, as you can see on the stage, and you can literally control the qualities and the movements of your audio files here. You can actually drop the points and make how fade in, fade out, or the zigzag movement of your voice you want to create. Okay. Those who know how to work with audio, you can play around with this editing of the effects. Okay. But if you don't know too much, go and use the standard effects with Flash cubes here. Right. So that's a bit of about adding effects to your audio files using Flash properties. The next property it gives you for the sound is synchronization with the sync label. Now in the sync, it will ask you how you want to play the Flash audio, whether you want to play it based on any events. Now here, by default, event means the first frame. So when you test movie, that's the first event, which is on load. So on load of your Flash movie, it automatically starts your sound. Second is you can have by default start or stop it using different conditions. You can have also effects called the synchronization property called repeat. Now if you want to keep the music continuously going, then you can have a loop. Means if you have a small loop of maybe 5 seconds, if it plays once, the music will stop automatically in your Flash file. But if you keep it in the loop property, that 5-second clip will keep playing all the time. Okay. Now, if you don't want loop, if it is just repeat, then you can mention by using the values of how many times the Flash loop should play. Okay. If it's a really small file, you can play it 5 times, and then the audio will stop automatically. So if you don't know ActionScript too much in advanced level, then there are some basic properties in which you can actually control. ACA might ask you some questions about when they ask you the questions about using Flash media. Okay, they might show you some document on the stage and they will ask you to identify how can you change the loop of Flash audio files, how can you change different audio files using the properties panel. So you should know some of these basic properties for Flash we normally use. Those who want to do advanced audio files in CS4, there's a special software for that called Soundgood. Has anyone heard of Soundgood? If you go to Start, I think we have a master edition. So Web Premium. There you go. Under Web Premium, the last software in the list is Adobe's Soundgood. Okay. In the past, this software was known as SoundForge. From CS3, with the Creative Suite it developed, is mainly known as Soundgood. Quite amazing software. If you're doing a lot of voiceovers for your cartoon projects, or if you're adding multiple sounds, go to Soundgood. It's like a software mostly DJ they use to mix their sounds. I've used it quite a lot as well. When you want to mix 2-3 songs together, it's quite beautiful. But I'm not going to change. Yeah, it's going to be, I think, CS6. They have a new version for it. But Soundgood is basic and you can learn yourself. You may find some videos in YouTube about using Soundgood. But it's pretty interesting software for DJs and for music lovers. You can mix your music and create an MP3. From this, you can convert your MP3s to waves to MP3s to any other formats. Okay. So specialist software for working with the audio in Flash. Maybe you can spend some time later on. It looks simple. You have to import the files and just play around. Let me get the first interface in, and then I will start the recording. What does it call in CS6? Audition. So, okay, there you go. Audition is a new name for the same software. This is how it looks. It's quite professional software. It's not basic one, but you can normally open the Flash documents the audio files you have. So if I go to my 65 folder, I can open the soundtrack file, which wasn't working before. This is the waveform when you see your audio files. Unless there's certain bits of the audio files you don't want, you can simply select them from the wave format here. Okay, you can right click on it, delete. So some unwanted voice, some unwanted bits of clips you can delete. You can copy and add some other voice if you want. So yeah, it's pretty interesting software. And then you can go to the file. Uh, you can probably save as, or you can export it. Let's say save as. In a save as, you can see it gives you an option to save the same audio file in so many different formats. AAC format is, I think, for iTunes and for Apple compatible products. But you can create MPEG, you can do WMV files, you can create the WAV files. So yeah, there you go. Simply save it. Okay, and in your same documents folder, you got soundtrack 3.wav file. So even if you don't want to do intense editing and become a sound recordist, use it for basic purposes. Because I don't know the software in depth, but I use it for basic small changes, or at least converting from one format to the other, which is the easiest thing you can do through this software. So that's about using audio for Flash.